Miami versus Florida State. This game is not going to have the impact that it normally does, but at the same time, this game is a crucial game for Miami. Now, Manny Diaz, this is basically, what the fans going to hold your head. They're going to hold this against you if you lose. Plain and simple. Now, I'm not saying that this 4-4 record is going to be okay if you beat Florida State. I'm not saying that. But it's going to be a lot better when it comes fan base wise for you. They're not going to come down on you as much as if you do lose to Florida State. Now, what does this game mean? Well, for Miami, if they beat Florida State, they keep their ACC Coastal Division championship win. If they beat Florida State, they keep that alive. They can still go to the Coastal. They can still win the Coastal and go to the ACC championship to possibly play Clemson. Now, beating Clemson, we don't know. It could happen. I got faith in my team that, anything can happen in college football. No team is unbeatable, no matter how good they look. Get that out the way. They almost lost to North Carolina, by the way. Now, this week, what do I need from the Hurricanes? Basically, I need the Hurricanes to keep this streak against Florida State alive. Basically, right now, the past 2 meetings, we beat Florida State. I need Miami to continue this streak. Now, before we beat Florida State these past 2, they had a streak going on us for like 7 games straight. They beat us 7 games straight. Don't want to talk about it. But we need to keep this streak alive. We need to keep it going, man. We need to match that 7 and even more. We need to beat them every year, plain and simple. But we got to beat them. They stand in our way. Right now, I know Florida State would love to beat us and end our coastal run. They don't want. I'm sure they know that they can't go to the ACC championship after Clemson beat them, and the way Clemson's schedule is looking, ain't no way Florida State making it to the ACC championship. So I'm pretty sure us being their biggest rival, they would love to put an end to ours just as much as theirs already is. Now, Miami goes to Florida State. ESPN is already saying that we're going to lose that game by, I think, three points. My score prediction for that game is pretty much matching ESPN, but I'm saying it's going to be like this. If Miami wins the game, it's going to be 24-21. Miami wins. If Florida State wins that game, it's going to be 24-21. Florida State wins. Hopefully, Miami wins the game. We come back home with the victory. We win out our rest of our games. And then, push and shove here and there between two teams or 3 teams in the ACC Coastal, and we make it to the ACC Championship. See, right now, our best hopes is that for, Virginia to take a loss, Pitt to take a loss, and then, they beat out the rest of the team. So we'll have the tiebreaker against them. Push comes to shove, who knows, this ACC Coastal Division could wind up being a 4-5 way tie between all these teams if they all end up at 4-4. I mean, if Miami lose one game, because Miami got Florida State and Louisville. If they lose any of those games, they're pretty much out. If Miami lose one game and it's all 4-4, everybody's 4-4, we might not make it. We'll have the deciding factor against Pitt and Virginia and North Carolina and Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech. Those 3 teams would basically have the deciding factor against us when it comes down to a tie. So right now we don't need no ties. We need a win out. So anyways, man, I'm looking forward to the FSU Miami game. What's y'all score prediction? Do y'all think we're gonna win that game? Another thing too, If Miami were to make it to the Coastal Championship, if Miami were to make it to the ACC Championship, do you think we could beat Clemson? Do you think we could beat Clemson? What do you think the score would be, Miami versus Clemson in the ACC Championship? Let me know, man.